Well, hello there, everyone watching this on the internet, and Michael Whelan, who is in
Hello.
this little window here.
I'm in a little bit.
Michael Wheels Windows Whelan. When I'm wheeling windows. Welcome back to another Dicepainter live stream. I know, I'm really sorry. We're what, 30 seconds in, and already we're cracking. Welcome back to another Dicebreaker stream. Where we will be painting some minis for your delectation. What are you painting today, Wheels?
Today, so I talked about this on the podcast, but the podcast is coming out tomorrow, so that won't help. But I'm painting some Infinity CodeOne. I think I have the box here, actually, yeah. So people might have seen our news articles on it. So Infinity, which is one of the miniatures games that I recommended on our list of things that aren't Warhammer, which are also very good. This is one of my favourite miniatures game. It's set in like far future Earth, so it's like our universe, but not. It's got aliens and like Ghost in the Shell style stealth suits and mechs and all kinds of nonsense. It's really, really good. And you only need about 10 models to play, and it's awesome. CodeOne is kind of like an introductory for new players version that's come out. And then whilst they're working on the new rule set as well, which is pretty exciting.
Nice. I'm excited about this because I have never played Infinity, and I know you're a fan. And in the place where I tend to play Warhammer, there are lots of Infinity fans there, and that's very exciting. So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing some of these in action. Meanwhile, am painting some minis from Northumbrian Tin Soldier, who are kind of like they make models called like the Nightfolk. This is a murder of crows. They're basically just crows with clubs and stuff. They're basically really old school metal minis without lead, but they are pewter. And I picked some up the other day just because at the minute I've got a very short attention span, so I can't concentrate on big projects. So I picked up General Krumpingtan, who I can't move my face too much, otherwise it won't focus on him.
General Kenobi.
General Krumpingtan, for fuck.
This is going to be us a lot this stream, isn't it?
General Krumpingtan.
Oh,
I had him.
Oh. I don't know what it is about cameras that makes them hate miniatures so much, but there we go.
Anyway, that's General Krumpingtan from Northumbrian Tin Soldier. So I'm going to be painting that guy, and we'll just be sort of chatting with everyone as things go along. Oh, people have already noticed, actually, we're wearing some brand new Dicebreaker t-shirts. So there's Be Nice, Roll Dice, and Big Deck Energy. The design I honestly can't believe we got away with. Those are available. Sorry, carry on.
Yeah, I was just going to say your t-shirt is unavailable in New Zealand, just in case anyone was...
Is it?
No,
well, good news, Kiwis.
Yeah.
Oh, that is a good joke that went straight over my head.
Don't worry about it. Okay. I picked up my camera so that I could show you the models I'm going to be painting. Yeah.
Oh, bloody hell.
Hello. There's the gang. Oh, here they are. So yeah, these are the guys that I've already done. These are for the Yu Cheng faction. So these are like a coalition of all the sort of like East Asian modern day countries like China and Korea and Japan and stuff. So these guys have really, really cool tech. They're quite sort of authoritarian. In exchange, right next to them is the Pan-Oceanian guys. So these guys are kind of like Australian Templars. They're awesome. And also they're kind of like the main sort of good guys of the game. So like this is like a pretty classic pairing.
Right.
Eugene is Pano, but these are the sort of like first box set minis that you'll get in the first CodeOne set.
Very nice.
And then I think The second one comes with combined army, which is kind of like the bad guys from Halo, like they're a big sort of like evil empire of aliens.
Oh yeah.
And then O12, which is sort of like the UN, but now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It's pretty wacky.
Those are very cool. I should say hello to people in the chat, not least Alice Liguori, who I saw chatting there, who is I believe it is her last day on Rock Paper Shotgun tomorrow or today.
I think it was today because I saw they did a stream of Jackbox with Colin and Matt. Yeah, it's weird because we're saying goodbye to Alice, but not really. I don't know if it's official
yet. We'll leave that up to Alice to sort of talk about. But hello, Alice. Nice to see you in the chat. She said miniatures and makeup. Cameras hate them. Those of you who are talking about getting these T-shirts, by the way, because we didn't finish our plug, they are available on the internet right now. There is a fabulous trailer on our channel, which is not self-indulgent at all. And is it?
It was made by Alex Lonix. How could it be?
Is it Shopify?
Yes.
So, yeah.
Yeah, Shopify, dicebreaker.shopify.com, something like that.
I think so. Cool.
We're really good at this.
Yes, I'm going to have to put my glasses back on to read the chat and say hello to some people. So I have to take my glasses off to paint. Hello to Brock Sisson, Alexander Bradburn, David Gillum, Zaznaiko74, Stuart Badminton, Captain Simon, Frodo Baggins, Ash F, Sean Ray, I always get that wrong, Franz Lenart, Han Solo Chewbacca, Revolver Rock, Jack Sinclair, David Gillum, Ronnie's in the chat, and Cats Against Humanity, accurate. Lots of people. And Michael Johnston Edwards, that is a very strong name. Very strong name.
Michael Johnston Edwards. All right. I'm going to start off with some grey because I know that I'm going to do that on these trousers.
You could put a link in chat, says Revolver Rock. I mean, all right.
We could do that.
Okay.
That would be a smart thing to do.
I'll do that now.
That's why we haven't done it.
Hey.
I'm starting off. I still use Citadel paints because it's just the ones that I have. So
indeed, me too.
Skaven Blight Dinge here, which is a nice dark grey, which I can use for the trousers.
Oh wow, that is an absolutely enormous bloody URL. Let's not put that one in. We'll put it in there. There we go. Dicebreaker.myshopify.com. So at the minute, these two designs are available, but in future we will also have the pre-existing ones, which are Wood for Sheep and Luck Be a Lady.
Mm-hmm.
This is what John T, who is the audience development director, I think, at Gamer Network, called a hubristic amount of merch, which it really stuck with me. That every time we come up with something new for merch, I'm like, yeah, hubristic amount of merch. There it is.
That is.
Where are all of my good brushes? Oh, there they are.
John T has a way with words, that's for sure.
He does. Scathing doesn't even come close. Like, what would be a scathing remark from you or I from Jonty is more like falling off a motorbike and grating for like half a mile down the road.
Oh,
Jesus Christ! I took a mouthful of tea. It turns out the tea bag had split. So now I got a lot of tea leaves in my mouth.
Oh, I thought you said a mouthful of pee. I was like, what have you? You can go to the toilet, Johnny. You don't need a little cup next to you. Oh my lord. Are you alright?
There. I just had to rinse my mouth out with paint water. I haven't even dipped a brush in a paint pot yet, and already this is going.
Yeah, but that's good because it means your paint water is just water, so that's fine.
No, if you look at this glass, this is my painting glass. Ooh, I use it. It's pretty. It's got a lot of acrylic paint in there.
It's fine. Johnny didn't drink pee. Sorry, that was my mistake.
Blair. Oh, whoopsie.
Hmm?
I also forgot that mug has an F-bomb on it.
Does it?
Yeah.
It's a recorder leg.
No, not that one. The mug of tea.
Oh, I see. Got it.
Says, believe in your effing self.
Well, do.
So, whoopsie. Wow, this is such a successful stream effort from
Welcome
me
to
thus far.
Motivation Hour here
Yep.
on Dicebreaker.
Yep. I have decided today to eschew what is my now like standard practice of glazing colours on. I've just decided, just to sort of pick myself up a bit, I'm just going to paint stuff in the normal way that I was initially taught. Because not every day has to be about pushing new techniques that you're not that great at yet.
Yeah, also, like, if you have, because you've got that zenithal underneath, like, if you're using thin paints, then it's still going to benefit you. So.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, the last thing I finished up, having glazed on all the stuff, it hits a point where I'm like, this looks amazing, I love glazes, I'm having a great time, and then suddenly I was just like, oh, this just looks a bit sloppy now. So I'm starting to think maybe I'll start combining glazing with just painting some stuff.
Yeah, painting as a toolbox, you know.
Exactly. Sphero64 says F-bomb, almost as bad as bum.
Oh, don't say it out loud, Johnny.
Sorry, God.
I can't believe it got through the filter. Jesus.
Oh, no. That was a weird stream last week.
Well, I mean, it was fine.
It was fun, don't get me wrong. It was just weird. If you weren't here, Wheels and Lolies and Mian played Burgle Bros, which is an excellent cooperative game with Ellen from Outside Extra. And there was a lot of discussion about what words were and weren't acceptable on the channel. And the B word, to mean a posterior, oh gosh, let me tell you, that is right out. Don't even think about dropping that in our chat.
I'm sure it will shock the people who have not seen that stream to know that we didn't take it incredibly seriously when we were talking about things that we shouldn't say.
Indeed. But our community is quick to latch onto these things, and so BUM is now apparently a dreadful, dirty curse word. It's quite fun.
Right. I love how I love this color because basically I really struggle with metal minis. I really struggle to put them together. These guys are also metal. They're Peter, I think.
Oh, are they?
But Corvus Belli, I just watched a video about this actually. They've been making metal minis for 15 years. I have to say they are really, really nice. Like the detail on them is really good. And I think I remember hearing someone talk about it, and the plastic that Games Workshop use is only sort of feasible as like an affordable material if you're doing it in like mass quantities.
Yeah,
so it's fine for Games Workshop because they're making so many models. But like if you're just a little company that makes more sort of like niche hobbies, then yeah, it's just not really affordable to work with that material. So metal is a bit more of an easy one to grow into.
That's why metal's alive and well.
Exactly.
That's very interesting.
Yeah, isn't it? But yeah, I asked Corvus if they wouldn't mind just pre-building the set for us with have them like base sprayed in opposite colours so that we could play with them straight away. And the colours that they picked were this sort of orange and blue combo, and they're so pretty that I just immediately wanted to paint them. So ironically,
they're going to be furious with you.
Yeah, do it even more. But no, I think they were quite happy that they were getting painted. To be fair,
good. Patrick Burke has done us a super chat.
Oh, that's nice of him.
It says, it's always nice to have that big deck energy. Yes, it is. The big deck energy. Dicebreaker.myshopify.com.
You can have big deck energy too by going to dicebreaker.shopify.com.
Myshopify.com.
Myshopify.com. That's my Shopify.
God damn it, get the URL right.
I'm cracking the window because it's getting hot in it already.
All right. Can't wait to until the seagulls of Brighton start singing us the song of their people.
Give me your chips.
So, when I was working on Eurogamer.net,
Never
a video games website, there was one time when I was covering E3, but covering from the office. So we would stay up to cover the press conferences and start making videos off the back of them, blah 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 blah, which generally meant bedtimes of somewhere between 6 and 8 in the morning. It sounds hellish, and it is definitely an endurance test, but it's also really fun. Everyone gets into this weird shared zone of having a strange sense of humour, and we have pizza and a few beers and whatever, and just cover some exciting new announcements. But it meant that I would then go back to a hotel and try and sleep just as somebody grabbed the start chord on all of the seagulls in Brighton and just like and it was just like, I hate this. I'm never going to sleep again.
I love you talk about weird humor at that sort of time in the morning. I love like memories of me and my mates being on like Skype or whatever it was at 3 a.m, and like the later it got, the more you would laugh at the smallest things.
Oh
and
god, yeah.
I think it's where most of our sort of like weird in jokes have come from. It's good fun.
Exactly the same with the group I play Sea of Thieves with. All you have to do is say the word pomegranate, and we'll lose it. What are you, pomegranate? I think I've already talked about that on here though, so I'll shut my mouth. Don't you mean? Oh, Emma Benson is in the chat. Hello, Emma Benson.
Hello, Benson.
One of our brave mods, saving us from naughty words. And,
there you go. So I've put some trousers on this lady now.
Oh, thank goodness.
She's a bit more decent.
Ah.
So
I don't know
this.
Why I said ah.
This is my sniper character, and they've actually got one thing that I'm actually quite fond of from the new CodeOne set. So normally when I play like Warhammer, I use an app called Battlescribe to do my lists. But Infinity had their own app, and the old one was a bit rubbish, but this one's really good now, so that's good.
Yeah, nice.
So I've got my sort of like, this is the list that the game comes with. So like you can see all your dudes there. I'm currently painting a Hunden ambush unit.
Cool.
She has a sniper rifle and active camo, which means that she can turn invisible.
Badass.
Pretty sick.
Well, to be honest with you, I don't know much about General Krumpingtan, apart from he's getting a purple shirt and he's got a big stick. And he's, yes, that's General Krumpingtan. Is anybody?
That's me.
I saw one person say that they just got some paints and they were painting along at home. Is anyone else doing any form of art and/or craft at home?
And it's also, if you're not, that's valid. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It's just
well deserving, so don't worry about it.
We're just curious. Wow, that's a. We've gone in 5 short weeks from being like, hey, this is chill. We're not even going to mention anything that's going on to being like the end is nigh. Good job, us. Oh, it's, you know what? For all I love glazes and stuff, it is fun just to slap colour on a mini.
Yeah, man. And then you also get that lovely moment where you put your first wash on and you're like, oh,
the make look good
campaign.
Yeah. Oh, I shall definitely be washing General Krumpingtan before this stream is out. Are you joking?
Huge joke there from Kate O'Sullivan, who says General Krumpingtan has big stick energy.
Oh, yes, please. General Krumpingtan. Krumpingtan.myshopify.com. Sorry, I meant dicebreaker.myshopify.com.
They're both equally valid.
Both, absolutely. Oh dear. So I played what might be the world's most expensive game of Crokinole yesterday.
Oh, of course.
I'll read out this super chat and then I will tell you more about it. Sweet Monkey Tuesday has done a super chat to ask, what do you think of Hero Forge's new colour models? I don't think I've seen these, or have I? Oh no, wait, Hero Forge. Sorry, yes. I thought you meant Hero Quest, which is very different. Hero Forge is doing basically coloured plastic, so you can have your model pre-coloured, and you don't need to paint it when it turns up. Which I think is, to be honest, I think it's a great idea. They're really highly regarded anyway, Hero Forge, because you can just design your own mini and give them their own posture and facial expression and stuff.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Oh god, yeah, no, I'm here now, apparently. And it's just immediately like a 3D model popped up. I was like, whoa, okay.
There's you, classic wheels power stance. But I just think it's brilliant if people can just go to the site and have a mini delivered to them for a game, their character in D&D or whatever, and they don't have to worry about getting paints or anything like that. It's really smart. Would I use it? Probably not. I like to paint my own minis, but especially if it were my own character, I think I would like to. But painting minis isn't for everyone. I think.
Yeah,
Well,
there's
it is for everyone. It's quite daunting, and not everyone wants to do it.
yeah.
Words. They're
There's
fun.
definitely something to be said about allowing people to just jump straight in with things as well.
Yeah.
Because it can be a bit of a pain when you get a new thing that you're really, really looking forward to play with, and then you need to do about 4 hours of construction and painting before you're ready.
Yeah, it's lame. Hang on. I'm just going to put my headphones around my neck. I will be able to hear you. I need to tie my hair back. It's getting bloody long, Wheels.
Yeah, I'm very much looking forward to having a haircut when this is all over.
I mean, I went into isolation looking feral, but
Did you see that TikTok where they'd taken news footage for some woman who was complaining that she needed quarantine to be over so she could fix her roots, but then the girl who made the TikTok proved that she hadn't done her roots since like October or something.
Yeah, she hadn't had a haircut since October. Oh, that's a good point. Sweet Monkey Tuesday says you can use Hero Forge's colour minis for test colour designs. That's very smart. Mm-hmm. I like that a lot.
Right. So now I'm going to do a coat. So this is
that's better.
The models in this set are all wearing like winter clothing because it's like set on a ice planet, which is pretty cool. So she's got like a big fur coat, and I've done. So this is the leader of the Pano forces, and you can see he's got like a huge sweeping fur coat on.
Yeah,
which is pretty cool. So I've got that kind of brown and cream effect going on, which is a nice contrast with bright orange.
If you're painting them brown, would that not be Pano Chocolat? Good times. Had by all.
Good times. We're all having a fun time here at dicebreaker.com.
I really need, unfortunately, because of OBS, I can see myself, and I look very, very strange with my hair tied up and my glasses off. But I can do one or the other. But, looks like me, does not look like me.
Does look like you, Jelly.
Where are my eyebrows?
Don't disassociate. Come on, it's fine.
Oh, God, no. Yeah, that's not happened to me in quite a while, and I'd rather keep it that way. Na 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 na. Painting General Krumpingtan.
Turns out orange is actually quite a good base colour for making like brown leathers as well.
Oh, mate, it's the new black.
I'm going to need you to stop now.
Okay, no guarantees, but okay. Kobe Morris says, I saw a video of non-bearded Johnny today, and it's like looking at a shaved bear. There's something deeply wrong with it. Wow. Good to know that there's something deeply wrong with the first 22 years of my existence.
You once, actually at a Crocodile game, treated me to the first video you ever did.
Yes.
It was quite an experience.
Oh my God, yeah. I mean, I was 19 years old, presenting in 4x3 on YouTube.
Oof. Those are the days.
Oh, mate, when we went out and filmed stuff, we then had to take the mini DV tape and play it off onto a server while recording it. I'm not even kidding. When I interviewed for the job I got at GameSpot, they asked me, like, on my CV, I was like, I'm proficient in the following, editing softwares. I can use Avid, I can use a bit of Final Cut, I primarily use Quantel. They had to look up Quantel to make sure I hadn't made up a video editing software.
Good Lord.
I'm old school, unfortunately. Regrettably old school.
Right, mate, you just got experience.
Well, yeah, experience in defunct technologies.
Yeah, but it's, the School of Hard Knocks VHS version,
Oh, what was this most expensive Crokinole game then? Well reminded, Sean. Thanks.
Oh yeah, do you remember that story we were halfway through?
Basically, I have a Crokinole board. My friend Wes has a Crokinole board. So last night, he's in Ireland. We set up.
He just got it as well, right? That was the point.
He just got it, and so he's not played against anyone else because there's no one else to play against. So we set our boards up and had webcams facing one another. So he would take a shot, I would place his puck on my board and then take my shot and he would update it. So we were playing with two Crokinole boards, it was already quite expensive. But to get this thing working, we were using my MacBook Pro and my phone, and he was using two phones, so we could see each other and the board at the same time. So when you factor in all of the kit that went into us just being able to see each other, I'm pretty sure that's the most expensive Crokinole game in history. So that's what I did with my evening this week. Pretty good fun.
I mean, question is, Johnny, why aren't we using this new technological capability that you have to make Dicepainter videos? Because
you don't have a Crokinole board.
Well, let's expense one.
Oh, I see. Well then. How are the cats? Asks Rachel Starwin.
They are asleep on the couch over here. There they are.
Oh, they're very sweet.
They're just all bundled up. They're very sweet when they're asleep. Oh, there's Rosie, look.
Oh.
Yeah, they're very sweet when they're asleep. Not quite so sweet when Toto is meowing the flat down. But anyway, that's just Toto for you.
I can strongly relate to that. Luna is a vocal and furious cat at the best of times.
Toto also did a poo on a carrier bag the other day. That was fun.
Absolute legend.
Yeah.
Of course he did. Why wouldn't he? Glad
Where
he's
else would
feeling
you
his
poo
wild
apart
oats.
from all the litter boxes that I bought him?
Yep. Listen, sometimes it's nice to just do things a bit differently. You'll eat lunch outside for once, or you'll
poo on a carrier bag.
Poo on a carrier bag, yeah. Why not? Why ever not, my good friend?
One thing I will say.
Wow, the chat is losing it at your cats.
Yeah, that's why I've got them, of course, for that sweet clout. Yeah, one thing I will say about painting any other model but Warhammer, I forget how tiny everything is.
Mm-hmm.
Warhammer is so exaggerated in its proportions, which makes it very easy to paint.
That's very true. I mean, General Krumpingtan is...
It's got a bit of chunk to it.
Yeah, he's quite... I mean, like, look at this cape. God damn it, Johnny. That is, like, that thing is enormous. I could paint that with a ceiling roller. But, yeah. Oh, I'm really enjoying this, though. Like, he's got some big, clunky, fun areas to paint. He's quite a caricaturish miniature anyway. And it's just nice, like, just to be blocking in colours rather than... If I were doing glazes, I would still be on his shirt sleeves, which is like the second thing I did. Just getting those layers built up.
Good to go back to the old ways, you know?
Exactly.
Currently filling in this lady's coat. A bit of leather.
Ooh. I don't have another joke for that, so you're safe for now.
Sorry, when you say another joke, do you mean ooh is your first
No. It's the New Black was one of them, and what was the other one? Pano Chocolat. That was it.
Pano Chocolat was good. Did like that one a lot.
Great. Colouring in his moustache. General Krumpingtan.
Have you seen? There's an episode of Strong Bad Email where he talks about the limousine girls. Oh God, I need to get the full title because it's really, really good. Hold on.
This isn't ringing a bell. I've only seen a precious few of those, but.
Zine coloring book. Oh, Adobe Flash Player is blocked. No! How could you?
But Adobe Flash Player practically runs the internet. It's 2020, my lord.
My lord.
No, my lord. Yes, my lord.
I have to scrub through, aren't I? Oh, here we go. It is. Oh, God. The Limousine 1989. Ladies were staying in room 302 of the Ramada Tour coloring book. It's very good. But it's like Limousine is like this fake hair metal band for the 80s that's part of the show.
Ah.
And they have like a few songs that pop up every now and again, but they play one over the top. Like it comes with a cassette tape with a song called Coloring. And it's just the best. The lyrics are coloring outside the lines, coloring inside your heart. It's very good.
Excellent. Okay. Does General Krumpingtan belong to a playable game, or is he just a mini? I believe he belongs to the Nightfolk, which I think might have its own rules. I'm not entirely sure. I just bought him because I like him, but I think I'm going to put him into a Frostgrave warband. Because I've got some other Northumbrian Tin Soldier minis on the way, and they're just fun and full of character.
Well, with Frostgrave, anything belongs to a playable game.
Exactly. Creeperistic asks, can I get some DM advice? My party is playing through Waterdeep, and the sorcerer just killed several people with a wild magic fireball in the yawning portal. How do I continue? Yeesh. Make them wanted?
Yeah.
Like, it depends. Are you looking to, like, punish them for this? Like, is it something you want them to regret, or...
Here's an idea. Pretend it never happened. Top tips here from dicebreaker.com.
Yeah, I just kind of... So, yeah, people are now asking questions. So we'll try and fix this with chat as well. We'll try and sort of resolve this. Because problems like this are all a bit prickly. You know, like, because when a player's character fundamentally violates the rules of a society, you're like, well, these people are the protagonists, so they should be able to carry on, but at the same time, how... Like, you'll sometimes reach a loggerhead. So you're like, how can this society carry on with them in it when they've done this? And sometimes it is an impasse, and you just have to be like, well, I guess I'm going to try and kill you now? Not like in an I'm the GM setting out to do it kind of way, but like there are consequences, you have to face them.
I guess this is one of the other issues with playing sort of like pre-written modules, I guess, as well. Because like they sort of, whilst they're not incredibly railroady, they have to be to a certain point so that they can get you to the next thing that they've written.
Well, yeah,
So, like,
because certain elements have to be there for the next bit.
yeah, and if you've set yourself up in a position where it's like, well, I can't imagine how they would ever get to here now because of the terrible, terrible things they've done, then I guess that could put a spanner in the works.
Double O Blat Double O, or Ooblatu, potentially, I don't know how to say it, said, have them arrested, then instead of a prison sentence, have Blackstaff give them a quest. That's quite good. I like that. Yeah, like you've got one chance to prove yourselves. That's fun. I like that idea.
Make sure somebody calls them a maverick who gets results. That's really important.
That explains so much of your goals as a person and as a player. How would you describe yourself? A maverick who gets results. All right.
It reminds me of that BoJack sketch where they're trying to figure out which police archetype the cat guy is. No, he's not a loose cannon. He's just a maverick who gets results.
Stuart Badminton has said, disguises. All the time, disguises. Also valid. I think there is something to be said occasionally for, as a GM, being like, okay, I need to emphasize here that, you know, the course of action you have taken in this world is looked upon very, very dimly. This is not me having a go at you, but you need to understand, and your characters will know that they need to proceed with caution, otherwise things will be bad. I think that kind of out of character round the table discussion can often be quite beneficial. Like, for example, in the Deadlands campaign I'm running for some people in the office just for fun. Well, not in the office, some people from the office over the internet now. I've just made them part of something called the Agency, which is basically the Men in Black, but in the Weird West. And I have drilled into them. I've been like, you don't flash your badges. That's not something you're supposed to do. Like, I've told them, like, our work is all about secrecy. People often don't believe we exist, but if some people found out we did, they might try and kill you, blah, blah, blah. Don't compromise us, etc., etc. And it is worth, I think, sometimes taking a beat to be like, just so we're all on the same page here, this is a thing you could donk up. Don't.
Mm.
So
there's also something to be said about things will be taken a lot more seriously when you say them as a GM rather than when you say them as a character.
That's
because
true.
It's sort of like you know, I think especially most of the people I play D&D with, they have like or any system rather, they have like an intrinsic sort of like don't give a hell attitude to whatever a NPC says. So it's like sometimes you need to be like, okay, look, I'm not the sheriff anymore. I'm Wheels now.
Yeah.
This might land you with some actual real trouble, just so you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will
just in case I'm not being clear.
Never forget one time I was in a party, and we were quite cocky, I think, at that point. We'd hit that plateau where we were like, we're stronger than most of the things in this world, and we're so seasoned in this game world that we started to behave quite insolently, I guess. And at one point we met an antagonist, and he just went, I'm surprised by you. You seem to value other human lives very cheaply. And I've never forgotten it. I was like, oh, we do. We absolutely do. We're horrible to people, and we'll kill anyone who gets in our way. And it was like, oh no. Are we the bad guys?
That's another thing, actually. Sometimes, like, if your NPCs start acting like bad guys, sometimes they start getting quests from bad guys, you know? Like, you don't always have to have your quest giver be the standard sort of, like, town. Town crier who needs help because their family's dying or whatever. Sometimes it's like, oh, look, the family's dying. Let's exploit them. Then, suddenly you're going to get some other crowds who are going to be offering you jobs.
I mean, that's partly why I love Blazing the Dark. You are the bad guys. Like,
yeah,
you are just bad guys. That's how you're playing. It just depends what flavour of bad guy you are and how justified you feel in being a bad guy.
Yeah, Blazing Dark is a very freeing position for you to be, like, cruel and creative, which is what most people tend to do when they're in a world of no rules kind of thing.
Yeah. There we go.
Cool. Now I'm doing the fluffy trim.
The fluffy trim.
Mm.
I've yet to do the lovely feathers atop General Krumpingtan's hat. I'm about to do his eye patch.
Shout out to eye patches, just as an accoutrement to any outfit.
I bought an eye patch in Animal Crossing today because I was like, I will need this at some point.
Yeah, let's be real. I've got so many outfits now. I just got a pilot's costume.
Amazing.
I feel like I'm inadvertently role-playing Alex Lowleys in my Animal Crossing game, just like by amassing loads of costumes that I hope someday I might use.
You'll find an excuse to use them no matter what. Kate O'Sullivan has asked in the chat, any tips for a new DM who has become the DM for a bunch of brand new players because most of them have either never played in an RPG before or have never played D&D before, feeling mildly terrified? I mean, if everyone is new to it, I think that's kind of perfect. You can feel it out as you go along. I would say be prepared for your first session to crawl along because you're going to be looking stuff up. People are going to be nervous and they're not going to know exactly how to get the story rolling and to actually move and act in the world. So you're all going to be learning together. Emphasize that, the game will speed up as everyone gets more comfortable. But try not to be too worried about it, to be honest. Like, you can just be relaxed, I think. We've got a super chat, Wheels. Do you want to do this one?
It's from Spidiog FOH. She says, hey guys, one of my players used Mage Hand to wield a sword like Alucard's Excalibur in Castlevania during combat. I allowed because it was cool at the time, but if she starts spamming it, should I try and nerf it? I think, especially when you've got something that's like theoretically possible, or it's like bending the rules a little bit. Sometimes it's just worth just having a conversation with the player, like, this is really cool, and I want you to be able to do it, but please don't abuse it, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Which is a conversation that Johnny has to have a lot at
work. Well,
yeah.
I mean, maybe. Yeah, it is worth sort of establishing those ground rules of being like, use this when it's thematically appropriate, but I don't want it to become your go-to thing.
Yeah, my Tim, who is the GM for Rollover and Die, he is, or was rather, playing in a campaign. I think they were playing Ghosts of Saltmarsh, that Matt was running, and he was playing a character who didn't have arms, so he had to use Mage Arm or Mage Hand rather, to do everything.
Right.
So it was like a magical prosthetic for him. So like in that context, like it makes absolute sense. But I guess it's the fact that someone has like a third hand, effectively.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Stuart Badminton asks if we're going to play Symbaroum soon. I have it, and I really want to run it. I just haven't got to chewing through the rulebook yet. Question: what should you do if the person in your group who always bails is the DM?
Ooh. Well, to be fair, and actually, I think I recognise this from our podcast doc. So sorry, we haven't got around to your question on the podcast yet, but we can answer it here, so it's fine. But I would say that like you don't have to stick to one GM. Like if someone's like recurringly not available, then it doesn't have to be the same game. Like you could start a new campaign that you sort of play on the side, or you could sort of volunteer to look after the players for a couple of weeks whilst they get their sort of affairs in order. But yeah, like you can switch DMs as you like, and if the DM who's not been able to show up as much comes back and you're enjoying yourself, maybe they'll just create a player and let you crack on. Like it's you don't have to stick to the party roles that you've got.
Yeah, and I think you can talk to them about it without being punitive. Just being like, hey, just wanted to check in. We've had a few sessions, quite a few sessions now, not sort of go by the wayside. Like, is there anything we can do to help? Basically, don't go at it being like, what the hell, dudes? Why are we missing so much? But there is room to talk to them about it, I think.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like I was going to start running a D&D campaign for some friends, and then I had to cancel one week, and then the next week I was like, I'm really sorry, I've got too much work on, I just can't do this. And my other friends went, do you want me to just become DM? And I'll run this campaign. I was like, yeah, great, cool, if that means you can all play today. And so they did, and then I couldn't make the next week either. So then, like, the following week, I dropped in as a player and was like, hey, so I'm sorry I didn't GM this, but I'm glad that somebody stepped up, basically, and offered to take it off my hands, because it was stressing me out and stressing them out.
Yeah.
It was actually a relief. But he was also perfectly happy to be like, if not, I'll back off, and this can be your baby. I just want to give you the option. And it turned out to be an option I gladly took.
Yeah. With anything like this, I think it's always just have an adult conversation. Like we're all just people who need a little help sometimes, or just need a little bit of space.
Yeah.
It's a lot easier if we just respect that in each other and find a way to help out.
Yeah. General Krumpingtan has a leather belt now.
Yeah. Oh, he's looking good.
I can't see.
Have you done the flesh tones, or is it just the lighting?
I've done the flesh tones.
Yeah.
Well, I've done a flesh tone. Oh, that lighting's bad.
Oh yeah, he's looking good already, man.
Yeah, I'm having fun with him. General Krumpingtan. This is one of those ones where the flesh looks really, really flat and rubbish, and the metal looks really flat and uninteresting. The minute I wash this guy...
Oh yeah.
Oh dear. Oh no.
Oh, I love washing metallic paints.
Yeah.
Putting a wash on metallic paints is one of my favourite things in the world. Is there a chance any Heartless City Beneath being played at some point, or is it a bit too dark for the channel?
I don't know.
I'm actually quite interested about that. That's Grant Howitt's new RPG.
Yeah.
He's been working on with some other people. Obviously, fans of the channel will know that Grant Howard joined us for a game of Reverse Beastmaster,
He very did.
which is available in our
Back
uploads.
catalogue.
By now. But there's...
Bye now. No, wait. Sorry. Carry on.
Got me with that one. But yeah, it looks really cool. It's like a sequel to Spire, which was the original one that he worked on. But now it's like the sort of dark underbelly of the world that he created. And I think like the sort of... I have very passing information on it, but like I think the sort of central kind of storytelling arc with the first one was that like the High Elves were basically like this very oppressive race that kind of ruled everyone else. I mean, High Elves are knobs in any setting, but like particularly in this one. But now, like you're literally, if you're in this kind of world that the second game inhabits, then you are an outsider. So like in the first game, you couldn't play as the High Elves, but now you can because like you've been outcast just like everybody else has, kind of thing, which is kind of an interesting position to take.
Yeah, it sounds good. I mean, I really like Grant. I really like his work, so I'm intrigued. Yeah, I never say never. I think obviously there are some subject matters that we would uniformly, as a group, consider to be off the table. But in terms of like settings and games, I can't think that there would be many we wouldn't run because they're a bit too dark or grim or whatever. Like, we're recording an RPG tomorrow because we finished the Eberron arc of Dungeon Breaker. So we're going to record we're going to do 2 records, so 6 episodes of a different game, which we've not announced yet. But that game can be pretty darn adult. And I don't think we should be afraid of that. And I think we can actually lean into it. It's more about how you portray it, really. I don't think there's any game that we would shy away from because it's too full on.
Yeah. I mean, a little bit of Dicebreaker lore here. Probably the first video we ever recorded, like that was actually usable, but we didn't use, was a Let's Play that me and Johnny did with Bertie from Eurogamer. Of 10 Candles, which is like the whole thing was very somber. I think we actually ended up saying, let's not put this out as one of the first videos that we put on the channel because it is quite sort of like grim. But yeah, like we were still, before, like the footage wasn't great, so we ended up not using it, but like we were still happy to put that on the channel, sort of thing. So
it was great fun. And it was somber and sweaty because it was in the middle of a heat wave. And we were just kind of in this room with like candles lit, which were adding their own heat, obviously. But all in good fun though. General Krumpingtan.
That was really good though, actually, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was great.
That was seeing as it's kind of lost to time now. It was set on a moon base. After, because like for anyone who hasn't played 10 Candles, like the sort of gimmick is that the sun has gone out basically, and like the world is sort of cast in darkness, kind of like Blades in the Dark. But essentially, you are sort of thrust into this position where there's these things called them, which are like this sort of nameless like horror thing that lives in the dark that's sort of hunting everyone down, and you're kind of surviving. So effectively, they were like top scientists who had been sent to a moon base to try and figure it out, because they found some kind of artifact, sort of like the monolith from 2001, and it got very sort of mind control-y and quite dark and quite sort of like.
It did, yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty sick, but it was
we had a really good time, but yeah, it was quite full on to say the very least.
I love 10 Candles a lot. I'm very much looking forward to playing it again once. See humans again.
Yes. Yes, indeed. And Dread.
Dread is great.
Yeah.
Are there any RPGs that you'd never want to run or play? Just in general, I guess.
I don't know.
Whatever one that... was it Iron Sky? The one that the gameplay example was for?
Oh my
God. the D100 system where they talked about 8 different martial art styles based on how a man was stood.
Was it D100 or D1000? It wasn't
Oh god, no, it was
D1000, was it? Yeah.
D1000.
Because
Jesus.
D100, that's just, stuff like Call of Cthulhu. That I can deal with. But a D1000 is mind-boggling. That is intimidating to me, yeah. I would be unsure about that one. Are there any? I don't think there are any that I would flat out refuse to give a go. Um,
I tend to like shy away from very, very rules heavy stuff.
yeah,
Like I tend to think that those games can kind of lose what makes RPGs special in the first place, kind of thing.
yeah. There was an interesting question. So last year at PAX West, I did a panel with Brandon Dixon,
Hmm.
who, if anyone doesn't know who he is, he goes by Swordsfall on Twitter because Swordsfall is basically it's not just an RPG; it's kind of a whole world. There are comics and like lots of just like bits of lore and stuff about this world called Taikor, which is like it's kind of described as Afropunk, and it's very much a world and a system that gets away from uh, very European fantasy tropes and just the sense of colonialism that comes with a lot of modern, well, a lot of fantasy things like Dungeons and Dragons or Lord of the Rings. They're all while they're really good and really popular for a reason, they are also really heavily based on European tropes, which kind of leaves people out of the picture. And the panel we did was all about sort of what motivated him and what his goals were and all this kind of stuff. And then we had a really good Q&A where one person was basically just like, this is obviously it's Afropunk. It's very heavily based off you know like uh, like African culture basically. And the guy who's asking the question because it is relevant. He was Caucasian. He was like, I'm a white person and I'm curious as to how I play with this and engage it without, and try and make adversaries and try and challenge the characters and the players without re-colonializing it. And I wish I could remember Brandon's answer because it was great, but I share that similar kind of like hesitance because I don't want to get it wrong, like I think funnily enough white people aren't that good about reflecting on race and their place in racial power dynamics. It
Mm.
tends to make people very uncomfortable and they get very defensive very quickly. So while I think learning about racism and how we can stop becoming products of what like white nationalist societies basically, like it can be uncomfortable, which is a good thing because it means you're growing, you're learning. But
Yeah.
also in a role playing game, that's intimidating to me. I think.
Mm. I think there's a lot to be said about like role play as a space for that kind of thing though. Like
Yeah.
there's I remember reading about this system, or it might have been on a podcast actually. But there's a system that sort of like simulates what it's like to be in one of those cultures that becomes colonized.
Mm.
And it like it's built to make you uncomfortable because it wants you to think about these kind of things. And
Yeah.
like essentially you have one person who is playing as like the oppressor. Um,
Wow.
and they like whilst they're still sort of like playing by the rules of the game, they can just overwrite anything that the other players say
Oh god.
because they just have that power.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
It immediately like sort of like sets the tone where it says the person who will be playing this is the person who has the most money in their pocket right now, which is a very much like it immediately just makes you go, oh god,
I
okay.
remember you talking about this actually.
Yeah, and it's like, and I think that is genuinely it's sort of like watching a play or something like that. Like it puts you in that kind of headspace
Mm.
where it allows you to properly think about those things rather than just sort of like reading things and like saying, oh yeah, I think I understand that, but then
Right.
not ever actually feeling those feelings, kind of thing.
Yeah. It's an exercise in empathy, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
We missed a super chat from Kobe Morris who says a tip because I feel like I upset Johnny with the beard comment. Not at all. I have thick skin and it's
Thick
not
beard.
I was going to say a thick beard, but it needs trimming. It's getting a bit wispy at the ends. Emma Benton has done a super chat and says, I didn't get the chance to say anything here yet, but I just wanted to say a quick thank you for all the content the last few weeks. it's been rough for me, and all these videos have been a welcome distraction. So thank you. Well, thank you very much, Emma, for being a part of our community and for coming along and being so supportive. Because truth be told, I think it's fair to say, Wheels, that we've had a bit of a rubbish week.
Yeah.
It's like it just all round. We've all been struggling, I think, across the Dicebreaker team. So like this stream, to be honest, is the thing I've been looking forward to all week, because I just knew I'd be able to sort of chat and paint and not just sit staring at the wall, freaking out about how I couldn't get anything done. Yeah. So yeah, thank you for being there for us and basically for being the people we make stuff for. That's means a lot, like genuinely. General Krumpingtan.
I saw someone say the name of a system, but I don't know if they were saying that might have been the one that I was talking about. I cannot remember the name of the system, I'm afraid, so seeing it written down won't help. But yeah, have a Google around and see if you can find it, because it was really interesting. I think it might have been Paul that was talking about it, actually, on maybe a Shut Up and Sit Down podcast or something like that.
Sphero64 asks, any recommendations for RPGs with a similar feel to James Bond, Ocean's 11, Mission Impossible, spy/criminal themed? Blaze in the Dark has flashbacks, a lot like Ocean's 11, and is great.
There is a so the Padfoot system, which is really good for like detective stuff. So they use it for. We just got the books for The King in Yellow. Do you remember those?
Yes.
They're based on Padfoot, I think. So that is a system where it was written by someone who was playing kind of like procedural detective stuff in like systems that already exist, and he kept getting annoyed by the fact that like they were literally missing evidence because they failed a roll, and it felt so rubbish.
Yeah.
Because like you don't work out a crime with like half of the facts unless they become apparent at some point. Whereas they're literally like just being completely missed and never brought up again in most systems. So it's a thing where as long as you have at least one level in that skill, you will always get the base information. But then every level that you have above that is kind of a currency that you can spend to get more info in that way. So like you might say you're really good at like computer systems or whatever, or forensic pathology or whatever. You might notice something like this computer's been hacked, but if you have like a currency to spend and you choose to, you can actually say, okay, well, how's it been hacked? Like, where was the IP from? Like, what's the system that was actually opened up when they went in here, and that kind of thing.
Oh, I like
which is very cool. But there is a spy version of that. So if you want that kind of like international espionage kind of thing, then there is a book for that. But it's very much like an open source system where you can make your own things with it.
That sounds perfect.
It's really good.
How are your characters coming on? How's the painting going for you?
Just about to say, I'll show you how I'm doing. So I've got. Right, you can now lift up the camera. Sorry for the motion sickness that I'm inevitably going around, by the way. So is that focusing? There we go.
Yes.
Sort of.
Needs to go back a touch, I think. There we go.
Better?
Yeah.
This is my Hunter machine. She has now some fancy trousers, as well as a lovely fur coat, which I'm working on right now. It's pretty cool. It's not been washed yet, so it's not got the sort of like depth of colour. But I'm going to use a little bit of Agrax, which is basically like brown wash, and that's going to make it look a lot more earthy.
I mean, a coat like that's probably dry clean only.
Do they have dry cleaners in the future?
Yeah, why not?
In like sci-fi future, do you still have to go get your shirt pressed? Or do you have some kind of automated system that you just sort of shove it in a vat?
I don't know. Yeah, it's a good question. Dicebreaker.com, asking the big questions.
The big questions.
Dicebreaker.myshopify.com.
Veronica says Fiasco can fit that theme if you go with the appropriate playbook, and it's great for a one-shot. Fiasco is really cool. I really need to give it a try.
I've still never played it. Yeah, I've got a copy.
It's very much like a sort of like a drama rather than a sort of like standard action adventure. Usually, I think.
Yeah.
Sort of sets it apart, which is pretty cool. Yeah, we should play that at some point. We keep bringing it up as an option. I think Matt Jarvis has played a few sessions of it.
Yeah, let's give it a bash. Just blocking out a few bits more on General Krumpingtan, and then I'll be able to give him a wash. Drink your paint water.
Oh, by the way, people, as well, like, you don't have to buy a system or, learn a system just because of the setting. Like, there are plenty of systems that work in any setting.
True. Savage Worlds is designed for that, basically.
Yeah. Or the, whatever that one that, was it Fantasy Flight made? The one that's published by Asmodee, where it's like, I can't remember. But there's plenty of stuff like that, which is available now. Google things like that to learn more.
Aha! Christian Gamboa says, okay, Johnny has convinced me to visit the Shopify place. The system works. Yeah. Hound them until they do what you want.
Where's that he's going again, Johnny?
He's going to dicebreaker.myshopify.com to pick up possibly a Big Deck Energy t-shirt, or maybe even
perhaps Be Nice Roll Dice.
Nice Roll Dice t-shirt.
What a fantastic idea for that person to do.
Perhaps in future he shall return and get himself a Luck Be a Lady, or indeed Wood for Sheep.
Wood for Sheep.
Shirt. Wood for sheep.
Genesis. Thank you, Nathan Wilkinson.
Phil Collins. What are we doing? Peter Gabriel.
Damn it, Johnny. Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, I was going to do the grey, but I can get to that once I've done my wash. This, by the way, this Agrax Earthshade, I've had it for a little while now, and it has gotten gloopy, which means it's really good for, like, super dirty things. If you just want, like, a standard brown wash, it's a bit heavy.
Practically an oil wash at this point, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right, I've just got to do the feathers on his hat, and I'll tidy up that purple, actually, and paint the hilt of his sword, and then General Krumpingtan is ready to be shaded.
General Krumpingtan is a shady lady. We are 1 hour into our painting stream, by the way.
Woof!
Hello to anyone who's just joined us. We are painting some Northumbrian tin miniatures, was it?
Northumbrian Tin Soldier minis.
Soldier miniatures. And the new Infinity CodeOne set, Operation Coldstrom.
My throat hurts, and I'm genuinely thinking about having a sip of my paint water.
Have you considered just getting a drink?
No. So if I do that...
I can hold the fort.
No, but if I do that, I'll have to stand up and everyone will see how messy this room is.
Please don't tell people how I live.
Oh god, no, seriously. Squalor! It's not squalor, but I am...
Squalor? I hardly know her.
There it is.
Hey!
Wah, 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 wah. I clutter is what I do. I generate clutter.
I can see that.
But it's one of those things where like when people are like, why don't you just sort this out? I'm like, I know where everything is. Sure, a lot of it's on the floor, but I know where it is. Like it's
a system.
It's like it. Yeah, annoyingly, it is kind of like an archive system. I think it's a great system. Because it's like, where's that thing? Oh, it'll probably be in this mess sector, or under this amount of garbage. But I do realise it makes me just look like a trash goblin. So.
A trash goblin is a perfectly fine thing to do.
Yeah, but I can't pull off trash goblin like Alex Meehan can.
No one can pull it off like Alex Meehan can.
Ooh, Nathan Wilkinson is painting a unit of storm fiends while watching, and more or less covered them in Reichland Fleshshade and Agrax Earthshade. They're basically magic. Storm fiends are a lot of fun. I've been painting one of those for a little while now, actually. I need to finish that. But then...
There's the rat mechs, right?
Yeah. Because you can ally those bad boys into Warcry. So these are giant rat ogres.
Oh god, I forgot about that.
Where you can replace their arms and give them another one on the chest. They have basically 3 miniguns, and you can just stick them in Warcry. So
this is very much where like Warhammer at some point just went fantasy. Ha! guns.
Rats with guns.
Oh god.
Scryer rats are the best Skaven ones. They're the best Skaven clan. They just are. Emily Little has done a super chat and says, "Sorry you've had a bad week. Hope it gets better." Thank you. Emmy, sorry, not Emily. Thank you, Emmy. That's really nice. It's like, I think we've just been distracted, to be honest. Like, I'm not miserable. I'm just like, everything's hard.
Yeah, it's just like when you're not feeling great and like everything seems a lot more effort than it is.
Yeah.
And like taking the first step is the hardest, and
Yeah.
it's that kind of mindset, I think, and I think we're all like that at the moment. So it's not like a.
I also really hate that in the mornings I'm super sluggish, and it feels like at night at the minute, around 10 p.m. my mood lifts, and I'm like, hey, that's the drive I've been looking for all day. So then the minute I start feeling more like myself again, I'm like, but bed? Oh no. So I've just been staying up to odd hours, just sort of not doing much, just to savour the feeling of being a bit more like myself. Which is
it's
rubbish,
very weird.
but oh well.
Very weird.
Yeah. We'll get there. We'll all get there. We're doing the right thing, and we're doing it well.
I'll see you when you get there.
Oh my god.
If you ever get there.
Owen Maguire says 3 miniguns seems a tad excessive. What would you know about rats miniguns, Owen? I think that's a perfectly fine number of miniguns for a rat. It is quite a lot, in fairness.
No, look, to be fair, it's a lot of miniguns for a normal person, but for a rat, it's absolutely fine. Oh, look at him.
Yeah, General Fit. Why are you focusing on my hand and not the mini in front of it?
Do you know what he looks like? If a dwarf from Warhammer Fantasy was cosplaying a human from Warhammer Fantasy.
Yeah. Oh, look at me. I serve the Empire. Oh, Reichland.
Absolutely not.
Okay.
I'm now going to do some metal on this gun.
Metal.
Gun metal.
Gun metal. Okay. Oh, I'm very nearly there. Just got to paint the little bauble on his cane.
You almost finished?
No.
Oh, okay.
I nearly finished basing.
Okay.
Then I've got to shade him. And then highlight him. And stuff. Rob Dareville? I hope I said that right. Says, I'm chipping away at some Kakalos Death Riders at the minute.
Kakalost.
Kakalos! I really like doing cavalry units. They're really fun. I assume that's a cavalry
Rider. I'm going to have a look.
Yeah, please do, because it doesn't ring a bell for me either. And I feel like if we just read that out and went, cool, it's not. It's not great community engagement, is it? Oh, he's doing Kakarot. Well done, you.
A Kakalos Death Rider.
Oh, Emmy's painting a griffin while watching us. I know what a griffin is, so that one's sewn up.
So here's a fun thing. If you type Kakalos Death Space Rider into Google, it gives you pictures of Mount Olympus. But if you remove the space in Death Rider, it gives you Kakalos Death Riders, which are, you should know these guys, because they are from the Bone Police.
Oh, yeah. Oh, they're cool. Their skulls are wicked. Yeah, God, they're great. Yeah, I forgot. Ossiarch Bone Reapers.
Bone Police.
The Bone Police.
If you will.
I dare not do otherwise. Okay. Ooh, that'll be nice. Let's give him a little... General Krumpingtan's getting fancy, everybody.
Okay. Gold trim?
How did you know?
Oh, yes.
I mean, so... again, you won't really be able to see this, but... He's only bloody got himself. Come on, camera. He's got a gold trim on some of his armour anyway. Okay, let's just really get in there with... My god, for a second he was in focus.
No.
Just for a second. Basically... Oh, this is driving me mad. Okay, on his shirt, you're just going to have to trust me on this. and on his hat, he's got these little extra details.
Yeah, I can see those.
On the shirt,
Buckles.
I'm not going to lie, they look like suckers from a tentacle. But I think it would look good if they were gold, so I'm going to go for that.
Okay.
David Gillam has said, "That's weird. I'm literally building a Mount Olympus right now." That's incredible.
Zeus. Bloody hell.
Thank you for the super
we've got
chat.
an Alex Lowley in the chat.
Uh-oh. Hello.
Uh-oh.
I really hope it's because she has her joke of the week.
I really hope she's not working right now.
Oh yeah, because she took today off to get some R and R. I I went to the shop today. Talking of gold trims on things,
I went to the shop and bought golden armor.
Not quite, but I went to the shop and I'm going to make a veggie lasagna tonight. So I was like, I'll get some red wine because good to put in bolognese, and also nice to have a glass of red wine. We're only human.
Oh yeah.
And the dude who runs the shop, he's always very, very keen to show me when they've got new stuff in, including new wines and stuff. And he was like, "Have you seen the gold edition? The gold edition?" I was like, "What are you talking about?" It's like, it's a very special new wine. I was like, "Okay." And then he came and pointed at this bottle of white wine, which for some reason had 24-karat gold flakes in it.
Oh god.
And I was like, "Ooh, it's very, very exciting." And then he went, "Yeah," and then he pointed at the label. It was Blue Nun. It was Blue Nun.
What?
Like, you know, a Blue Nun. It's like a really cheap.
Yeah. With gold flakes.
Yeah, I didn't buy it, and now I regret it.
That's like if Goldschlager was made with Glens or something.
The exciting vodka.
Exciting because you don't know if you'll survive it. Oh Lord, other vodkas are available.
Yeah, that's yeah, it was very strange. Maybe I'll just go. I mean, I've already left the house today to buy groceries, so I can't. Maybe I'll go back tomorrow and buy the. But I don't want to encourage him. I don't want him to think that that's something people actually want. Like, the only reason I would get it would be to drink it on a stream and laugh.
Maybe if we hit 100k.
If I
Everyone
buy
in chat,
I'm gonna
if we hit 100k subscribers, Johnny will drink Blue Nun with gold flakes in it.
All right, done. I'm gonna buy a bottle of Blue Nun with gold in it tomorrow. Tech Noir says, "Oh my god, Blue Nun, that takes me back."
Oh god. Can't be any good memories attached to that.
No. What's everyone else talking about in the chat?
What is everyone else talking about in the chat, Johnny?
Ronnie's talking about a Viking shop that sells armour down the road from her.
Is it gold trimmed? Because if so...
If it's the shop I'm thinking of, it also sells a lot of LARP gear. Oh! Loli's has blessed me with the joke of the week.
Oh my god! That's a big honour.
I mean, I like, minor spoilers, Wheels. I did a sensible chuckle at this. I don't think you will. Helvetica and Times New Roman walk into a bar. "Get out of here," shouts the bartender. "We don't serve your type."
It's a graphic design joke. It's good. It's fine. It's fine.
I liked it.
It could have been worse.
Yep.
Oh, God. I'm not angry. I'm just disappointed.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
I tried to tell that you'd think it'd be R, but is actually the C joke. On a Discord chat with some friends who I was playing a game with, and I've never delivered a joke so poorly in my life.
No, what happened?
And it also cut out halfway through because of Discord.
No.
It's just I just completely canned it. It was, oh god, it wasn't good. But yeah, there we go. Oh, there's definitely a delay in chat because all of the boos are coming in now. Right. Okay. She's got a gun now. She's got a silver gun.
Excellent. Oh, hang on, let me tab. Ooh.
Silver gun.
Very nice.
So I'm going to put some details on that so it's not just silver. But then I will give that a wash.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not entirely sure what colour to have the plating on a gun be, though. Maybe like a black plate would be kind of cool. Oh, she's got like a silencer at the end, so black would be pretty good on that as well, actually. Or a suppressor.
Tech Noir just told a joke. Shakespeare walks into a bar. The barman says, "Get out of here, Shakespeare, you're barred." Lobster walks into a bar, says, "Can I have a pint of Guinness, please?" Barman says, "Sorry, we don't serve food." Horse walks into... No, man walks into a bar, sits down, gets himself a pint. Horse walks in after him, plants both of his front hooves on the bar, and orders a pint of lager. The barman pours him a pint of lager, and the horse clamps the pint glass in his teeth, as horses sort of do, and tilts his neck back, downs the pint, kind of goes, and leaves. Man turns to the barman and says, "Well, that was weird." Barman says, "Tell me about it." Normally orders a whiskey.
That's not a joke! Oh, god damn it.
Those are my favourite types of joke, though.
Ones that make me angry.
Yeah. Elephant's walking through the jungle, comes across a mouse. He's never seen a mouse before. So he says, "Blimey, you're a bit small, aren't you?" Mouse looks up and goes, "Well, I've been ill lately." He giggled. Pink Daisy says this is really
only because it's reminiscent of She Turned Me Into a Noob, I got better.
Oh, yeah. Very good. Pink Daisy says this is really just a slow motion murder attempt on wheels, isn't it?
It really is.
It really is.
This should be illegal.
Well, it ain't.
Some kind of law against this.
Nah.
Oh, by the way, I was looking at, because I've now been looking at Infinity stuff again, I do that thing where I get incredibly excited and look at all the models and think, "Ooh, I love that, ooh, I love that." There's a faction called Nomads who aren't in Code One but are in the main game. And they have like this biker girl who, because units can like dismount their vehicles in Infinity, so you get like a model of them off and on. So usually you just have like person on bike and then person off of bike. But this one comes with person on bike, person off of bike, and also bike after it is transformed into a mech. It's the coolest thing in the world.
Yes, please.
It's got like tires for shoulder armor. It's incredible.
Oh, that sounds brilliant.
I'd also seen, I've never seen anyone do this before, but the person who had painted the model that I was looking at, with the base of the miniature, they'd done like a snow effect. But because it's a bike and it's sort of like leaning over, they put 2 divots in the fake snow to make it look like the bike was skidding.
Oh, that's cool.
That's the coolest thing I've ever seen. People could be really, really creative with bases. I always do just like really boring things.
Yeah, I don't enjoy basing very much, to be honest. I never really got into it. Cursed Kurt has done us a super chat, saying, "So glad I can watch you guys live while I wait for my chemistry exam to go live. These streams inspired my girlfriend and I to start painting minis." Oh, that's lovely.
Yeah.
I hope you're having a lovely time painting minis together.
Yeah, what have you been painting?
Yes, please. And
Stephen Harris has a... Oh, no, carry on.
Stephen Harris says, "A priest and a punchline assassin walk into a bar."
Because there's no punchline, because the assassin killed it.
Okay. It would seem that way.
That's the joke, Johnny.
Just, hey, yeah, no, I was giving it room to breathe, that's all.
Ash F says, "My favourite joke, what do you call a whale with no legs?"
A whale?
A whale.
Yeah. They've got vestigial legs. They've got them. They're inside their bodies, but they've got them. They've got the bones.
They've got legs?
Yeah, they've got little hip joints and they've got little tiny legs.
Johnny, you know that means that there is like an alternative future where whales are walking among us.
Yep.
Does that not terrify you?
Yep.
There you go.
Thanks, mate.
It's all right. I'll teach you to tell me these jokes again.
Didn't even bring the one out about the priest, the rabbi, and the owl. So you're lucky, mate.
Oh.
Piqued your interest now, haven't I?
Oh, I hate to say that you have, yeah. I
Okay.
mean, there's also the bee joke which you have told me,
Can't tell
but
that
I
one. It's
can't tell that on stream because of the
it's
punchline.
got a
But
swear in it, and it needs to have the swear in it. Oh, but it's my favourite joke.
you could just say screw.
No, no, no.
Okay.
I tell the joke or I don't tell the joke. That's there is no editing of the joke. God, I love it. I'll try and get on one of Eurogamer's tavern streams, and I'll tell it there
Mm, yeah, perfect.
because those are cool. If you're not already aware, our sister channel Eurogamer, they green screen themselves into a different video game bar every Friday, and just hang out and have a chat with people and have a drink, and it's really wholesome and lovely, and they sort of play games with people. And Loli's is guested. I'm very envious.
I was gonna guest tomorrow actually, but they had to do it a bit later. Unfortunately, I got plans, so I couldn't.
Yeah,
I'll
it's.
try and be in one at some point soon.
I think they're going a bit later so they don't clash with the Oxventure stream, which is happening tomorrow. So,
All in service of these lovely fans of ours
well, exactly.
who
Yeah.
watch all of the fantastic channels that
Whoop.
Reed Pop have to offer.
I've got a lot of RPGing to do tomorrow. I'm running 3 different sessions. A record with Dicebreaker, the Oxventure, and then I'm going to be DMing the game I gave away for charity.
Mm.
The winner lives on the east coast of America, and we're
Uh-oh.
starting at about 7 or 8 their time, which
Uh-oh.
would be about midnight or 1 in the morning for me. So,
Oh,
what I'm going
Johnny.
to do is go to bed around 10, set an
Okay.
alarm, get up, and chug a bunch of coffee. So, Saturday's going to be interesting. But, all in all, we raised over 2 grand for the NHS. So, well,
Is
to
that
feed NHS workers food. Because the
that's
NHS is
really?
not a charity. That's what taxes are for.
Mm.
But, yeah. I will definitely do another um, giveaway, though, at some point, I think. So that's nice.
Casca says they've been starting with the shelf of D&D minis that they use.
Mm.
And Kurt's girlfriend painted an octopus, and Kurt painted a unicorn.
Nice.
Yeah.
Unicron.
Is that the Planet Eater?
Yes, it is. Well remembered.
Thank you.
Veronica says Mum is just back from her NHF shift, so gotta go serve up dinner. Have a lovely rest of the week, everyone. Bye, and
Bye.
say hello to your mum and thank her for working bloody hard at a
Yeah.
time like this.
Not that she will know who we are. All right.
Hey Ma,
Cool.
some randos on the internet. Say hi.
And they're very proud of you. Imagine said, this has got a good one. Imagine I'm giving up drinking for a month. Sorry, that came out wrong. I'm giving up drinking for a month.
Same. Oh, I saw a little flourish. Oh, I thought you were going to show us more models.
No, I was moving the camera. I am just going to do one little null oil wash.
No, no.
And then I'm ready to show this person off.
Nice.
Rock, it's just
Null Noil. Han Solo Chewbacca asks, both of us, do you prefer playing or GMing RPGs?
I think I prefer GMing, if I'm honest. There's just something about being able to play multiple characters at once always seems more enticing than just playing one to me. Because if I end up making a character that I think I like and then I don't halfway through, I'm kind of just like, and I just want to like completely change them because I'm that bitch. But there's something freeing about GMing where it's just like, I don't like this NPC. They're dead now. That means that this person can take over instead.
Yeah, true. I don't know. I really like GMing, and obviously I do it a lot, and I always get a lovely buzz from it, and it's a really fun sort of mental exercise. But I'm always thinking Like the fourth, I'm always aware of the fourth wall constantly because I'm like, okay, what are we going to do next? How are they going to do this? How long is this bit going to take? La, 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 la. You're always thinking about the system and about the timing of the game, which is very different to playing in one where I can really lose myself. And I've had sessions where I've just ended up frustrated, but other sessions and other campaigns where I have just felt so immersed, it's unbelievable. So I think if we're talking about do I prefer GMing at its best or playing at its best? Probably playing, just because some of the experiences are incredible. But I also love GMing. There's a reason I do it so much more than I play. But my Shadowrun campaign wrapped up very recently that I was playing in. There's the one with Echo, who's the Orc Sorcerer.
A long-running update on this channel.
Yeah. So that
when we do our paint streams, especially.
So that finally wrapped up, and I got really misty-eyed. Like there was one point in the session where we, basically the other guys in the party were like, we need to go take out this person. This person is secretly a great dragon, and we knew that. And we were like, dragons are really hard to kill in this game. We shouldn't go take them out. And I was like, everything in my brain was screaming, don't do this. Like to the character, it's like, why would she do this? Why would she do this? So she went outside and had a good think about it, and then I came back in and was like, I'm in, but only because I'm not leaving you behind. And I actually got a bit teary-eyed while we were playing. So it's like, that's very I feel that, like, that is actually true. Like, she means it, I mean it. And I just realised the sense of immersion in that campaign was amazing. It was like, it was so rewarding. It was really, really great fun. And then we killed the dragon. So that was pretty badass.
I can't say the system I was playing because I wrote it and therefore conflict of interest. But there was a moment in an RPG that I was playing recently with a very cool person who was playing this character. And it was like, you could tell that they GM'd and they had like this interesting idea of how they wanted to take their character. And they sprang something on me mid-action moment, but not in a way where I was like, oh god, what the hell, but like, oh, okay, yeah, no, I like that a lot. And we just had this sort of like unspoken thing where, to the point where like the other players at the end of the session were like, did you plan that? And we were like, no, not at all.
That's great.
Where like basically like he had decided that, because he was playing this like weird metal construct thing, which was just like this amalgamous blob of like scrap metal, which was animated. And they met this sort of like high profile scientist who the player had decided, oh, this is who made me, sort of thing. And it was fantastic.
Cool. We have a super chat. The username is in Cyrillic, and I am sorry that I am not cultured enough to be able to pronounce it. But the question is, hello everyone, are you actually playing Infinity or just painting? If playing, what faction? May your hands be steady and eyes sharp. Best of luck. Oh, and we've got another one. Wow, that is a whopping super chat from Lucas Petrie. Thank you so much. Saying, don't get a lot of chances to catch you all live because of work, so stopping by to say thanks for all you do. Just bought 5 copies of Tabletop Sim for my whole family to be able to play Hero Quest and other games together from around the US because of your content. That's amazing. What a lovely thing to do, and a lovely super chat to send us. Thank you. That's really lovely.
Yeah, thank you very much, Lucas. I saw somebody else ask about Infinity as well, so I'll just hold that into the super chat question. So I am playing CodeOne to try it out for a review, which will hopefully be on the channel at some point. I've also played Infinity before. I play Hack Islam, which are like a sort of like New Islam faction, which I said about in the list. It's really cool to see like an Islamic group that aren't sort of like, just completely the tokenism essentially. Like they're actually like a sort of an exploration of that culture, and they're not seen as horribly racist depiction of them. It's like an actually nice sort of like, well, okay, what is Islam about, and how would that exist in the future kind of thing. Which is very cool. I'm currently playing as the Yijing because that's who came in the box. But I have to say, the Yijing miniatures are sick as hell, and I am sort of like leaning towards them now. I've also got this box of the JSA, which are the Japanese sectorial army, because I think they had like a law thing where they claimed independence. And I will just grab her because she's only over here. But I was talking about motorbike miniatures earlier. this lady is not only riding a sick-ass motorbike, but she also has a scythe, which is pretty sweet.
That's pretty great.
Yeah. So Yujing are kind of like, or at least like the sort of East Asian factions are sort of taking my heart a little bit.
I am playing.
Somebody also
as,
sorry, carry on.
I'm playing as General Krumpingtan and his boys. It's one of the newer factions for Infinity. It's really a homebrew right now, but I'm pretty sure that it'll get licensed within a week. Carry on.
I was just going to say another username that unfortunately I can't read because it's in, I think, Cantonese, who asked, would you recommend Infinity to someone who's never played a miniature game before but would want a deep tactical game that's not just units smashing into each other? Considering the fact that CodeOne is now a thing, which is very much like a stripped down, like simplified version, not to the point where it loses what it is to be Infinity kind of thing, but like they have removed some of the elements that make it more complicated to learn. And if you ever want to take the step up, it's literally just a case of switching rulebooks, because all of the miniatures in CodeOne work in the full fat system as well. I would absolutely recommend Infinity, because I think now that it's like had that sort of like redesign, it feels just like playing an RPG but with multiple characters, because you have like a stat line. So you've got like a shooting skill, a stabbing skill. Your physical thing is anything that you do physically, like, you know, dodging or whatever. And then your willpower skill is anything that you do mentally, like, you know, medicine or something like that. You have a stat out of 20, and then you roll a d20. And if you get that stat or lower, then you succeed. But then when you roll off against other people, if they also succeed, whoever has the highest success wins. So, like, you might succeed on a roll with a 2, but somebody else succeeded with a 13, which is much better than yours, so then it sort of trumps it. And it's like, it's genuinely as simple as that, and it's got this sort of nice, kind of reminds me of, what's the RPG system that uses the playbooks? Like Worldwide Wrestling?
Power by the Apocalypse, isn't it? No.
Powered by the Apocalypse? It's, yeah, so it has that sort of thing where it's like, you don't say, okay, now it's the movement phase, now it's the shooting phase, blah, blah, blah. You activate a model, and then they can do 2 like skills basically. So they can do a movement skill and a shooting skill, or they can double up on movement, or they could do like a whole order thing, which has its own, you know, sort of like rules to it. So it's like, I think if you've played RPGs before, Infinity will feel more natural to you, which might be a good way of doing it. And I also really love how they do the orders, which is, it's still going to come out in the review, but it's fine. Basically, like, instead of activating every single model on the table, you count how many people you have, and that's how many turns you have with those guys, which are generate orders basically, and then you can spend those on whoever you want. So you could activate everyone on the table, or you could just have like one dude sprint down the side of the map and shoot 5 different people.
Wow.
Which means that everybody else is just doing nothing essentially.
That's cool.
It's like that interesting thing of like, sometimes you'll have people just sort of like waiting in the reserves, because like you've got your main dude just sort of like soaking up the orders, and then they come in as a second wave and stuff. It's very, very cool.
Nice. That sounds great.
Yeah, it's really, really fun. I recommend it.
So,
as you will find out, I'm sure, in the video review.
So here's how General Krumpingtan is looking. I've done the gold trim on his hat and stuff. Now, you can see that I've done the sort of like a turquoisey blue for this feather. There are 2 more feathers in his hat, and I'm wondering whether I should make 2 of them turquoise and 1 of them red, or whether the red would just be too weird in and amongst the purple and the blue that I've already got going on. Maybe it would be
I
too
think
much.
it'll be a nice contrast, to be fair.
Right.
I think little pops of like a different colour are really nice.
Yeah, I'm going to do it then.
Like, I've got those Sigmarines that I've been painting. They're all sort of like purple, gold, and silver. But the handles of their weapons are quite a sort of vibrant blue, and it just sort of jumps out and like adds a nice sort of like detail to it.
Very nice. Very nice.
Right, I'm going to do my Null Oil wash.
Oil.
I've just shaken it now so you can't see it, but like, there is so little Null. There you go.
Wow.
Look how few there is in there. And literally that's probably, the amount that's left in there is also probably the amount that I've actually used, and the rest is just like knocked it over 8 times. I hate these pots so much.
Yeah, they are treacherous. Touch wood, I've been quite lucky so far with them. I've only ever knocked over my shade once.
Okay. Someone says you should make the single feather orange because it'll add contrast without distracting.
Interesting. Interesting. I'm going to think about that. Because I'm going to think about it.
All right. Thanks for the clarification.
General Krumpingtan. I'm going to... I really wish it would just focus on him properly. Let's try this. Let's really try and just... that's so bad! Focus on the general! Focus!
This stream is sponsored by Citadel.
It isn't. Other lids are available.
Lids.
We'll probably put pictures of these up on Instagram afterward. Instagram is the only one where we are Dicebreaker, is that right? Like on Twitter we're at Join Dicebreaker. Pretty sure on Instagram we're just at Dicebreaker.
Yeah.
Would dry brushing the feathers with white be nice? Asks The Spiddles. Firstly, your username is great. Secondly, yes, I plan to do that. I'm going to try a red on these feathers rather than the orange.
Do it, mate. I believe in you.
Yeah, let's try it. Let's get some corn red on the go. Or I could do Wazdaka red, which is kind of... That is actually a more orangey red.
Oh, okay.
We'll see. No.
No.
But yeah, we'll put pictures of these up online. Oh, blimey, we've only got 25 minutes left. I haven't even shaded the general.
I'm almost done now, I think.
Ooh.
I might just start fiddling about with the other guys.
Nice. Wash this brush again.
Although I haven't dry brushed, I find these models are very small, which means the dry brushing is actually quite difficult.
Yeah.
And also I need to clean my dry brushes because they've got so much paint on them that they're just sort of like doing about 8 different pigments at once when I dry brush.
I've got a dry brush which I pretty much exclusively use for whites now for when I'm underpainting.
Good idea. Very good idea.
If you go with the orange, you can use flesh colours as a final highlight rather than gold. Still going to use red, I think. Sorry, Team Orange.
Wheels is Infinity CodeOne. Oh, I see.
CodeOne. Code done.
Understood. I thought it was the start to a question that got cut off.
Is Infinity
CodeOne? That's why I got very confused.
Hatronoth asks, have you ever applied any transfers to a model?
No.
Me neither.
But I do... I wish there were more transfers that weren't just like ultramarine symbols. I think they're actually really good.
Don't the Sigmarines, what are they called? What are they actually called?
Stormcast
Eternals. Don't they have them?
Yeah, probably. It's all the main faction.
Pretty sure they do.
Butthole people, but yeah. Right, what I'm going to do now, for the benefit of you at home, is make up a little diorama.
Okay, yeah, I'm pleased with this red. The red works.
Ooh, yeah. So one thing that also comes in the box with CodeOne is this new scenery, which is pretty sweet. It's got like a much sort of thicker cardstock than what you usually get in the star sets, which makes it like actually usable.
That, mate.
Cool. Yeah, there we go.
It is lovely to have scenery that you can just whap together and you don't have to paint.
Yes, it's lovely. Oh, jeez. I'm immediately just smashing everything I've painted.
Good lad. Like, after you made that that list of miniatures games that weren't Warhammer, you dropped your Infinity miniatures, didn't you?
Yes, that's another reason I haven't played Hack Slam in a while. I absolutely smashed them to smithereens by accident.
Yep.
That was fun. Thanks for that lovely memory.
You're welcome, my boy.
Alright, here we go. How do I to increase the size of my window? Can I? I can drag it. Oh, that's fun. What have I got on my arm? Ooh, paint.
Paint.
There we go. Right, here we go.
General Crumpleton.
General Crunchy Boy.
I nearly said Crundleton, which is different. Crumpleton is ready to be shaded. My God, it focused on him again.
All right, so here's the model I just painted. If it ever focuses. Oh, there we go. Here's the model I just painted, my sniper. I've also got a flamer here. He's pretty cool. As you can probably imagine, he's got a flamethrower. Big barrel of flame juice on the bottom, on the top rather, on the back. That's the one. I'm finding the words every now and again. Flame juice. Yeah, you heard me right. This is the leader of the Pano and the Eugene faction that are in the box. Sort of having a Barney. It's always good. And then a little added bonus. Oh, shotgun man, just chilling down here.
There we go.
He's got a shotgun.
Oh, this is just making me want to go play XCOM Chimera Squad. What a bloody game.
I will say, if you are a fan of XCOM, you will be a fan of Infinity. I think it's definitely got. It's got that feeling to it. Like very specialized single soldiers that you like don't want to lose kind of thing.
Yes, please.
Very cool squad.
That's nice. Yeah, that'll do it. Thank you. Oh, Ash F. Wheels, if it's any consolation, I remember being about 13, buying a load of Warhammer Chaos stuff on one of the GW sales, and leaving the lot on the train when I got off.
Oh, you know that feel, Johnny.
Oh, God. You know what? Yeah, some months ago I left my Frostgrave warband on a train. Never got them back. And it was some medieval killer bunnies. I bought some today.
Oh, you're going to redo them?
I'm going to redo them. I bit the bullet. I was like, I missed these. And I want to do it. And the shop was down when I first went to look, so I messaged the guy who runs it, and he was like, "Oh, you know, yeah, the shop's being rebuilt. It will be up soon. I'll let you know. So sorry to hear about your miniatures. I'll throw something extra in for you," which was really nice. Like I wasn't expecting that, but I just sort of in a moment of like teary-eyed, not teary-eyed, I think like misty-eyed, we'll call it. And nostalgia was like, I love my minis on a train. When can I buy more? So, oh, hello. Trevor Kleiner has done a super chat saying, quick thanks for the intro to Crokinole a while back, helping get my wife and I through quarantine. Yeah, Crokinole, what a game.
Spittle says, Johnny, you can't knock wheels with flame juice because you call bullets gun food.
Oh, and now we do when we play the Resident Evil deck building game. Good. Yeah, that was a while ago. I just forgot the word for bullets. So I just said gun food. I'd forgotten about that, but yes, gun food. Bit of the old gun food. Actually, in XCOM Chimera Squad, one of the characters, my favourite one, she's called Terminal, when she reloads, she says, feed my gun. Or fed my gun, I think.
There you go. Fed my gun some gun food.
Yeah, gun food.
Oh, I'm quite pleased with how these guys are coming out.
Good.
I gave they were all just sort of like flat orange when they were based like this. So I gave them a wash with Reichland Fleshshade Gloss, which is an earth. Sorry, it's a flesh tone.
It's this, but gloss.
Yeah,
it's very fleshy.
But it sort of like it added a nice shadow without losing too much of the color in the orange, but also made them really shiny, which for sci-fi armor I think was really cool.
Yeah.
Woo!
All right, I'm shading the general. Krumpingtan. I have to be.
Get me, head of war.
I have to be careful about what I say because I don't want to give away who I'm playing as. But I'm playing in yet another game of diplomacy at the minute. But this time we're playing anonymously, so no one knows who anyone else is. And there's one faction in particular that writes the most incredible letters. And I kind of imagine General Krumpingtan as them. I think that's partly why I decided to paint this model in particular today. Because, oh my goodness, when this game's over and I find out who it is, I'm going to buy them dinner, I think. Because they've honestly, they make my day.
Aww.
They're so funny, even though everyone's at war. It's just they're an absolute riot, Michael.
I really want to get on this backstabber action.
Oh my god, it's good.
But I also I loaded up the website and realized I've never played diplomacy, and this all makes no sense to me whatsoever.
Oh, it's so simple. I can teach you in no time at all. Basically, if anyone's confused as to what's going on, Diplomacy is a 61-year-old board game where you are one of 7 nations in 1901. Moving forward, you basically you tell your troops where to go. If if there's no one in a territory, your troop goes in there. You take that territory. If there's someone else in there, you're not strong enough to take it, so you have to get another unit and tell it to support you in there, and then you've got 2 to their 1. It's that simple. You're moving dots around on a board, and dots are either armies or fleets. But the thing is, in order to survive, you have to sort of buddy up with some of your neighbours and agree to destroy other players and stuff, but none of the agreements you make in a game of diplomacy are binding. So you can backstab people, which is why the website we're using to play it remotely is called Backstabber. And
which you cullorly referred to as sounding like Grinder because it's got no E at the end.
Maybe. And then I realised lots of websites do that, it turns out. But that's just where my brain went. Oops. But yeah, it's so much fun. And the best part is that you can play anonymously, basically by post. So we resolve a turn a day. So you've got 24 hours to send letters to other people, plan out your move, and then it gets auto-resolved at like noon or whatever. And so you're just furiously writing letters to other people in character, and they're hilarious. Like I was playing in a game where I was French President Eric Cantona. Lino says the Dicebreaker diplomacy game has been teased for weeks now. Just do it, you cowards. It's probably time. It's probably time. It's so funny. But yeah, playing anonymously is great.
I wonder, is there a way that we can make the map public without people being able to play? So that people could follow it live?
Possibly. I'm not sure.
That would be very funny.
Yeah.
And then people could try and work out who is playing what based on how they're playing.
Yeah. Let's look into it and see what we can dig up.
Yeah. Or at the very least, just sort of like posting a picture of the state of affairs every now and again.
Yeah. Don't know if you can hear Scout in the background, but she's...
I can, just very briefly.
Yeah.
Just a little wow.
She's having a good time. Yeah, let's get that going. It's time. Especially since, as French President Eric Cantona, I got eliminated.
We can't be having that.
No. The Pope's treachery was complete.
Who plays the Pope?
No, someone was role-playing as the Pope.
Okay.
Creeperistic says, do you play diplomacy with a half-length for winter setting? I want to know what I should do for my first game. Yes, because the build phase is dead quick. So we turn off press, so you can't write letters to one another and be like, where are you going to build? And it only takes 12 hours rather than 24. The anonymous game I'm playing is playing in turns off on the weekend, which is actually quite nice. It's nice to have a little break, and it means that everyone comes back being like, I'm going to write something hilarious.
Yeah, that's a lovely idea.
Mattress757 says, how many times have you used the word seagulls in your letters, President Cantona? About half a dozen. Whenever someone writes to me and I don't want to answer, I just deploy the "when the seagulls follow the trawler" quote. It's great. I wrote up diplomacy for the site a week or two ago, and it's on Dicebreaker.com if you want to read it. Dicebreaker.myshopify.com
if you want to buy a t-shirt.
Twitter.com/join Dicebreaker. YouTube.com/Dicebreaker, the channel you're already watching.
That should be our catchphrase, I think. Even if it's like
it's the channel
on an advert that you see in the real world. It's the channel that you're already watching.
I think so. So, I mean, it's not going to focus on him, but the general has been shaded.
It isn't General Krumpingtan.
And you'll see, you might be able to see, you'll see it when I post a picture later. Ugh, his shoulder pad. I don't know if it's meant to be chainmail or what, but it's very pitted and it looks lovely now it's been shaded. It's kind of all pooled.
Yeah.
Pooled.
I always get worried when I paint over that kind of material. Like the this cloak on this guy has that sort of like pitted, and once again it won't focus, but yeah, like that sort of like dotted little holes in the fabric. There we go.
Oh yeah.
And I painted over with white, and I was like, oh god, I've lost all the detail. And then I always forget as soon as you do a wash, you're like, no, there it all is again.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very lovely.
Ooh, can't stop the bees. Has done a not super chat. They've just chatted, saying they say the new merch is delight. Any chance of the Luck Be a Lady Skelly shirt? Yes, that is coming to the shop. As is Wood for Sheep. They'll be available in due course. But for now, due to reasons, I don't know what those reasons are. You can only get Big Deck Energy or Be Nice Roll Dice. But also somebody who's running the Dicebreaker account in chat has already said that. Scout, what's wrong? Hi. Hi. What do you want? Yeah? Come here. Come here. Come here. Scooter. Scooting. Hi. Hello. Hi. Hi. Can I pick you up? Can I pick you up? Yes. Oh, that's my knee. Those are your claws. That's in my skin. How?
Oh my lord.
This is
Hello.
Scout. She is a very large cat.
Oh my word. She's as big as Toto.
Oh, she's
Oh,
purring.
she's got lovely eyes.
She's great.
Hello, Scout. The cats are still asleep, cuddled up next to each other.
Okay, you going down? All right, sweetheart. Oh, that was full on in my knee, though. Oh. Like, I could feel it under the skin hooking.
Oh, God.
Could be worse.
So I have two cats. I have one that is Toto, who's very loud and very big. The other is Rosie, who's very small and quiet, but she literally just walks everywhere with her claws out.
Oh.
So like when she's on a carpet, you just hear her sort of like.
Oh. Somebody just asked if we're going to do merch that isn't t-shirts. Yes. I don't know when, but yes. The Dicebreaker.
At some point.
I've got one here. The Dicebreaker pen should be available again in the fullness of time. Alongside, I think there's one or two other ideas, but I can't remember what they are. So yes, watch this space. Oh my god. Right, we're done painting. This is now a cat stream.
I'm in a kit.
Oh.
Hey.
Rosie's adorable. Also, somebody asking about other t-shirt sizes. I don't know. I will ask about that. So, yeah. Scooter, what's your problem?
Scout and Scooter?
Oh, I call her Scooter.
Okay. I thought Scooter was another cat I had not met yet.
No. There's Luna and there's Scout. Or Scooter. Or Scooty or Scooting. Well, I mean, we call Watson all sorts of things.
Oh, yeah, I know that.
The other day, a woman in the park stopped me and was like, "Is your dog called Piglet? Is he called Piglet?" And I was like, "No, she is called Watson, but we sometimes call her Piglet." She's like, "I thought you'd called him Piglet." It's like, go away. What manner is it if I had? Leave me. Oh, dear. Come on, shade, dry.
Just painting some trousers in another miniature now.
Oh.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Don't mind if I do.
Oh, man. I was hoping to really get this properly done by the end of the stream, but I've only just shaded him. Oh, well. The thing is, I want to, like, if I just spend 20 more minutes on this, then I can do that, but this is such a my diamond shoes are too tight problem. I'm making lasagna for dinner, and that takes quite a long time, because I want to do it right. So I want to get started early so we don't eat really late. General Krumpingtan will understand. I will finish him on the next stream and then move on to something else.
Yeah.
I was going to paint the thing. Big scary Warhammer model I've got. It's a Nighthaunt thing.
Big boy.
It's crushing a horse. What's it bloody called? Is it a Morghast? No. But I just didn't feel like painting something horrible today. I wanted to paint something a bit more.
Bargolf, or is that
No. I'll look it up. But I just wanted to paint something wholesome today rather than something Terrifying.
Yeah.
Morghast? No. No, Morghast are more bone police. This is going to drive me mad. Well, she's really going for it, isn't she?
Mm.
Model crushing horse.
Just your average Google search, really.
For me, it is. This is driving me bananas. Somebody's probably already said it in the chat. Tom Titherington has done a super chat. Can you have a look at that? And then I'll... Morngul!
Mongol. Tom Titherington says, "Hi guys, so help me out. Should I buy some Lego sets or not?" I know this is a little random.
Yes!
I haven't played with Lego in a very long time, but there seems to be a recurring theme for a lot of people in this current climate to get back into Lego.
Do it!
Go the hell for it.
Do it!
Is there anything in particular that you want to build? What would you build? If you were going to buy a Lego set, Johnny, what would you get?
I don't know, because I'm really impressed by the stuff like the massive Star Wars ships and things that they have. But I don't think I'm into Star Wars enough to build one that's... Oh, but an AT-AT would be great. I
feel like everyone likes AT-ATs if you're into Star Wars.
They're really cool. They're just so impractical. I love them. Or do they still do working Lego train sets? Because when I was a kid, I had a Playmobil train set, and it was the greatest thing. Like, it was an incredible...
My brother had one of those, yeah.
Just amazing. Incredible, indestructible toys.
Did it have a tub of tracks with a red lid?
I can't remember what we used to keep them in. No, I don't think it did. Because they all fit in polystyrene in the thing.
Okay.
But that was amazing. So if there's a working Lego train set, then yeah. Oh, there must be Pirate Lego, surely. Ask Pink Daisy. Pirate Lego would also be good. Oh, you know what? I once got my brother the Helm's Deep Lego set.
Oh my god.
For Christmas. And that was hard to give away. I was like,
I didn't know there was one.
It's pretty badass. You know what? Actually, a space shuttle. One of the old shuttle program space shuttles. There is a ship in a bottle Lego set that Johnny might like. Says Sir Jarvis. What? Ship in a bottle Lego.
So I need to Google it now.
It's really cool.
Ship in a bottle.
Oh wow. Space shuttle Lego. But the space shuttle Lego. Oh, they're really small. I wouldn't want a huge one.
Oh wow, look at that.
Retired product? No!
No! They killed him!
Oh, that's so cool. That. If I could build any Lego, I'd build that. The ship in a bottle Lego.
I can't believe they found out that the ship in a Lego was or not the ship in a Lego, Robbie. I can't believe they found out that the space shuttle Lego was actually a replicant and they had to retire it.
Hey! Very good. Oh, man. Oh, wow. Oh, no.
You had a real roller coaster there, didn't you?
It's like meeting the man of my dreams, then meeting his beautiful wife.
Can we talk about, please?
Like rain!
Can we talk about the fact that everyone knows Ironic by Alanis Morissette, but they don't know, they never bring up the true classic.
Go on.
And I need to know that you agree with me here.
Okay.
Because Alanis Morissette's second most popular song, which is You Oughta Know, is so much more of a banger, IMO, that it's genuinely upsetting that it never gets brought up.
Which one's that?
Yo.
Oh, yeah.
Not fair to remind you. That one.
Yeah, it is good.
Yeah, it's absolute stonker of a track.
Oh, dear.
It's always oversaw by Ironic, which is quite bad.
What's the one I really like? Because there was that video of the woman who kept Alanis Morissetting her husband.
It's like 10,000 spoons when all you need is a knife is fantastic. Or the little story about the man who's been afraid to fly his whole life and then immediately dies on the first flight he gets on.
Yeah. Play it safe. Was afraid to fly.
He packed his suitcase.
Oh dear.
Oh my god. Thank you, everyone in chat, for agreeing with me. Thank you very much. And if you didn't agree with me, I am not acknowledging the fact that that happened. Apparently, Amazon still have several shops that sell the space shuttle Lego. By the way,
Interesting.
you're right there, bud.
Yep.
We have 1 minute until the stream ends. By the way.
Okay.
Now I've got one hand in my pocket,
and the other one
is
that's the one I was thinking of. I can't stop doing it. I really can't stop doing it. Whenever someone says I had something in my pocket, I just go, and the other one is making a peace sign. Oh dear. Lego ship in a bottle is apparently on Amazon. Bricks Max ship. What? Oh, oof. It is. It is.
Is it?
It is.
Benny boy.
It is also £120.
Lego's actually pretty expensive.
Yeah. Let's sleep on that one. Hey. Wow. It's already won me over. Was that her? Inside of me. Now we alarm to fight for. Here over here. And not your fault. Wow, we've lost it. What a good thing it's 5 p.m. Wheels?
Thanks everybody for watching this stream. We've been painting General Krumpingtan.
General Krumpingtan.
There it is, as well as some Infinity CodeOne miniatures. I hope you've enjoyed this.
Yep.
I'll grab the sniper that I did.
We will put some pictures of these on the internet after the stream, so you can see them in actual detail rather than with treacherous webcams. So yeah, we'll bid you adieu now. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for Wheels. For Wheels, thank you for Wheels.
Thank you for Wheels.
Thank you for Wheels.
World.
I shudder to imagine what my life would be without him. Okay, so 'cause I'm here. Good.
To remind you.
Bye everyone.
Bye.